And other things I want to discuss today in this JDL Germany video is a thread that Mr. Vancier has posted on his forum, and he is accusing JDL Germany of being one of his own members. He is saying that you know, the videos that we are putting out is done by one of his own people, one of his own members. And I will show you what he actually was doing with this guy. He's you know, obsessed with this guy, and he was you know, using his fake Peace Now account to, you know, mock him and to attack him behind his back. And I will show you evidence of this right now. Anyway, this guy, he was a member of this movement, so-called movement of Mr. Vancier. And, you know, he here is saying, you know, that this guy, he once supported JTF and he was making videos promoting JTF, but his videos were unpopular because the first 2 minutes of each video showed his name flying around in space. And then he says, you know, to show off his supposed video skills, people were bored and turned off by this egomania. Now, what I want you to do is keep that in mind, what he just said, to remember that, especially here, because where he says the first 2 minutes of each video showed his name flying around, and here where he says people were bored and turned off by this egomania. Now, in this channel, which is actually a very good friend of ours, he is Marbus. He is a very intelligent Croatian guy, and you know, he actually discovered that Mr. Vancier was using a fake account, using a fake Peace Now like leftist account, pretending that he was from Israel and that, you know, he was against JTF. He was actually, you know, uploading like nearly 100 you know, JTF videos on his channel, and he was mocking and attacking his own members on this channel. And I will show you you know, evidence of this, you know, on some of these posts that he did. You know, you can see that it is Mr. Vancier. You know, he's talking about, if you recall what I just mentioned, this guy, this Rosenberg, his screen name was For International, and you can see here what he has written. Mr. Vancier, using his fake account, he's saying here, most people prefer her videos, which are fun and entertaining, on For International's boring videos. First 2 minutes are him showing off his name. So there you go, you see that? He's saying here, first 2 minutes are him showing off his name, and then next sentence here, he says, what an egomaniac. There it is, what an egomaniac, and first 2 minutes are him showing off his name. So you can see, this is what he just said in his thread here. He says, you know, his videos were unpopular, they were boring, because first 2 minutes of each video showed his name flying around, and here he says, people were bored and turned off by this egomania. So there you go, you know, you can see here that he is, you know, giving himself away. You know, this is, you know, how stupid Mr. Vancier is. He doesn't realize that people will check up on things like this. And, you know, this is like well over 1 year ago that he was doing this on our friend Marbus's channel, you know, and now he is accusing us of being this guy, which is the most ridiculous thing I ever heard of in my life. You know, he's even saying that I'm Israeli. I never, you know, in my life claimed that I'm Israeli. The reason why we have on this channel, we have Israelis, so we don't have to compete with big countries like United States. When we are on the YouTube, we put Israel because Israel has a lot less population. You know, it is much smaller country than the United States, and our videos target audience is of course Israel, because we want to educate the Israeli population about this fraud, this con artist fraud and liar and thief, Mr. Victor Vancier. And you know, I just wanted to show you this, you know, how this guy how he lies, and here he is actually, he's talking about this guy Rosenberg, and he's saying, that this account, this Tsar Bomber 92 account is him, and he says here, Foreign International says that Tsar Bomber 92 is 17-year-old Gentile kid from Russia. Bullshit. And you can see here in his thread here, I'll go down here, and you can see, there it is there. Rosenberg tried to pretend he's a 17-year Russian Gentile living on Moscow with one of his fake accounts. And he says here, until IRA exposed fact that he spoke perfect English but did not know a single word of Russian. Now that's very interesting that he writes that, because how he would know, how would this person know, any person in fact would know that somebody can't speak a particular language online, because you can use online translator, unless you meet the person face to face, you cannot know whether or not they can speak a particular language. So of course, Mr. Vancier, he is just stupid and liar. He doesn't even realize some of the things that he says are so ridiculous that people would not use their brain, to check the stuff out, what he says. This guy, he may or may not have done this, what he is talking about, and whether or not it is true what he did, if he had done this, okay, he is his own member, and he should not be trashing him and attacking him and mocking him and making fun of him behind his back and saying stuff like this, really sick stuff. I will show you here. Let me just go here. He's talking about this guy, and he's saying, there it is there. He's saying he's got a billion channels on YouTube. All of his channels worship himself. That's his name there, Joshua Rosenberg. All of his channels hate IRA. All of his channels do not allow anyone who disagree with him to respond. Here he's saying here he needs psychiatrists. And then underneath here he says, I offered to work with him despite all of lies he has told about me. Doesn't he realize by now that Chaim Ben Pesach is just using him after all the videos he did for Chaim? Look at how JTF has treated him. Chaim only uses people. Yeah, well, here he is actually telling truth, of course, about himself using this fake account. He's just a very, very sick individual, this Victor Vancier. And I will just read to you to prove to you how sick he is. He is repeating again, as you can see, every single post, is about this guy Rosenberg. Why would Peace Now guy in Israel be singling out only one specific JTF member of the entire forum? Why would Peace Now guy just single him out? Why he not, attack anybody else? He has not attacked anyone on any other channel except for this guy. So it is obvious it is Mr. Vancier. He has some kind of dispute with this guy. He doesn't like him, He is having an argument with him, some kind of issue, and, he's attacking him behind his back like a coward. And I will just read to you what he has written here. He's saying, again, he's giving his name. He's saying, this guy, his screen name for international is Joshua. He's created million YouTube accounts. Now he spends his whole life attacking IRA. And then he says, Chaim Ben Pesach is gay or bisexual. Here he's trying to make it look like, that it's not him. He's attacking himself, calling himself, gay or bisexual. And then he says he is 53 years old. He's never been married. So you know what that means. How laughable this is, that anybody would fall for this rubbish. And then next thing he says about this guy, remember this is his own member who was moderator of his forum, so it was not like any member. This guy was actually one of his moderators. He used to make lots of videos for him. And I will quote you what he is, saying here. He's saying this Joshua is also gay. Joshua wants Chaim's cock, but Chaim is too busy fucking Ira right now, so Joshua is intensely jealous. And that phrase here, intensely jealous, is a phrase that he uses very, very often you know, when he is talking, Mr. Vancier, he uses this phrase a lot. You know, whenever he's talking about his enemies, people he doesn't like, he says, oh, you know, they're all intensely jealous, or they are insanely jealous. And I will show you when he actually, he replied to us, meaning, you know, to me, when I actually left a comment on one of his videos on this channel here in Natan Yisrael. It is a Hebrew video. And if I go down here, you'll see I was making fun of him, you know, how all of his videos have got fake, you know, likes, fake thumb up likes. You know, it's always the same, you know, number, either 50 likes or 60 likes. You know, even though the video has only just been posted, there's no, you know, views at all, you know, and there already is 50, 60 likes on it. You know, and I was making fun of it, and he replies to me, he's calling me this guy, and he's saying, you know, when will you finally get psychiatric help? He says, you are a big supporter of JTF, and now you hate JTF because of intense jealousy over videos that I did. You see that? There it is right there, intense jealousy. So this is Mr. Vancier speaking as himself, you know, and he is using this phrase, intense jealousy, and, you know, saying, you know, psychiatric help, he needs psychiatric help, he's like crazy, you know, he's, it's sickest thing I ever seen, you know, how can you do this to movement, turn on the movement, you know, and it's amazing, you know, he gives himself away with these phrases, intense jealousy, like I showed you earlier. There it is right there, intensely jealous right there in this, you know, comment he left on Mardas's channel. You know, and he left comment also on this other guy who used to be a member of, I believe, his forum, his American forum. This guy, he now no longer is a supporter. He, in fact, even, you know, publicly he's denounced Mr. Vancier. And he will basically, you know, talk to this guy on his channel. You can see it here. Mr. Vancier is talking to him, and he's saying to him, you know, I'm jealous of you, ha, 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 you know. You keep calling me Yariv Oppenheimer. Yariv is a good guy, but I'm not Yariv. Yariv told me he's going to sue you and Chaim for slander. You know, Yariv Oppenheimer is the leader of Peace Now in Israel. And Mr. Vancier was always telling everybody on his forum that this AntiChaimBenPesach account of his was actually Yariv Oppenheimer. You know, so unbelievable, you know, how stupid people on his forum are to believe such rubbish. And here's that phrase again that he always uses. He's writing here, I know you're intensely jealous because your gay boyfriend, Chaim Ben Pesach, is now fucking Ira instead of you. You know, so it's amazing, you know, he keeps repeating himself, you know, using this phrase, intensely jealous, and he's, you know, using the profanities here against this guy. You know, I mean, it's really sick. He is a really sick guy doing this kind of stuff, you know, against his own members behind their backs, you know, pretending to be a guy from Israel, a Peace Now guy who is anti-JTF, but, you know, yet uploads like nearly 100 JTF videos, you know, on his own channel, and, you know, every video is just, you know, a few seconds at the beginning of video is like, oh yeah, you know, Chaim Ben Pesach is crazy, he's insane, he's terrorist, he's mental, you know, stuff like this. And then, you know, the next, you know, 10 minutes of the video is just Mr. Vancier speaking, you know, uninterrupted, completely uninterrupted, you know. What a joke, you know, what a joke, you know, that anybody would fall for such a rubbish, childish rubbish as this, of Mr. Vancier's lies, you know. And this is, you know, common thing that he does, because most of his members, like I would say, you know, 95% or more, are really naive, very gullible people. You know, I hate to insult them because I feel really sorry for them, but they are really stupid people. They're very naive and gullible, and they believe what he says and what he does here. They have no idea. And you can see here his fake account, how he is advertising the website right there. You can see of his Hebrew forum. It is chayamin.org and then / with letter F. So why would Peace Now guy, he's not going to be advertising, JTF Hebrew forum, chayamin.org. It's just ridiculous that anybody would fall for such a rubbish. And I will show you the real Peace Now guy. This is what the real Peace Now channel looks like. You can see there is nothing really here that advertises the chayamin.org or jtf.org. It is all just one guy who has uploaded a few videos against Mr. Vancier, and he is just attacking him, and really that's it. He's not uploading any chayaminjtf.org videos. You don't see 130 or 200 subscribers of all JTF accounts subscribing to him like Mr. Vancier's fake account. The way he does it, he always gets hundreds of his fake accounts to subscribe to push it up in in the YouTube search facility. And just ridiculous how people don't even bother to check this. But yeah, I mean, you can see this is the real, Peace Now guy. It is spelled differently. It is in lowercase. The letter C is not there on the name. It's missing the letter C. Whereas the fake one, you can see it's got the letter C there in the capital C. And it's got English writing here, perfect English writing, and it's not an Israeli, of course, because of the comments that he left, as Anti-Chaim Ben Pesach here on Marbus's channel. It's always perfect English. And another thing that Marbus pointed out to us, to JDL Germany, he's saying that, this real Peace Now guy, that he messaged him a few times. And, when he messaged him, he's saying that he is not able to speak English really at all. He's very, very poor in his English, very bad. And, he also, because he lives in Israel, had difficulty looking at Marbus's channel, because Marbus's channel is, blocked. Periodically it is blocked in Israel, and he had difficulty many times to see Marbus's channel, whereas the fake Peace Now guy, Mr. Vancier here, never had difficulty, according to Marbus. He never had difficulty, seeing his channel and leaving comments on Marbus's channel. So, you can see it is all, very clear what he has been doing against his own, members. And how he's been attacking them and writing stuff about them behind their back. He's calling him insane. You can see there he's calling him insane. He made another 12 videos for JTF. He's constantly attacking him. You don't see him attacking anybody else in any of these comments. It's all just one JTFer that he's singling out and always talking about, intensely jealous, and, he's always mentioning this woman, this Ira woman, he's always talking about her, because he's obsessed with her, this Russian Jewish woman who actually lives in Russia, apparently. And, Mr. Vancier always would post her videos on his American forum, and even his Hebrew forum. He would post her videos as sticky threads, and, you could see here on his fake account, he would be always favoriting this Ira woman's videos. He would always be favoriting her videos using his fake account. And, like I say, he would always be posting her videos on his American and Hebrew forums. So it is pretty, obvious that it is him. And getting back to what this guy was doing, he's saying here on this thread here, he's talking about Rosenberg, and he's saying, Rosenberg pretended to be friend of Serbs, but now he makes videos together with Marbus, the Croat Nazi. Well, number one, Marbus is not Nazi. It is absolutely ridiculous what he is saying here. He's just simply Croatian nationalist, and that is all. And, he's saying, of course, like, oh, he's friends with Marbus and making videos together with Marbus, and, he's pretended to be friend of the Serbs, he's accusing JDL Germany, who always was friends with Marbus anyway, from beginning, when our leader, Stephen Wygant, when he created JDL Germany, this was like, over a year ago now, year and a half ago now, that Mr. Wygant created JDL Germany, and for him to say stuff like this is just completely ridiculous, because he's attacking him, saying that he's terrible because he's pretended to be friend of Serbs and stuff like this. But when you look at what Mr. Vancier was writing here on Marbus's channel, he was saying stuff like the Serbs committed terrible war crimes. The whole world knows that Serbs are monsters. He's trying here to suck up to Marbus because he knows that Marbus is Croatian, and calling the Serbs terrible, war criminals and monsters and stuff like this. And he's stupid because he didn't realize at the time that Marbus actually doesn't really hate all Serbs. That is a lie. He actually even has relatives, in Serbia. And Mr. Vancier did not know this because he's very stupid because of his arrogance and his pride. And he was trying to suck up to Marbus, and Marbus told us he saw right through it. He was not fooled by this guy, Victor Vancier, using his fake account. He realized that it was actually, of course, Chaim Ben Pesach, Mr. Vancier, doing it. And let me just show you what he was doing here. This guy, Yam1, I want you to keep this guy's name in mind, because he is one of the guys who actually, confronted and challenged Mr. Vancier that he was actually behind all of this fake anti-JTF videos and accounts. And this is a thread that was posted, back in December 2008, and it is mocking JTF members. It is, the Adams family, and it is entitled "Pictures of JTF Members, Peace Now Video." I urge our members to comment as much as possible on video, and to also write video 1, lowest possible rating, trying to make it look like, that he's against it, So he is, mocking his own members. And this guy, Yam1, he actually, picked up that this is all fake, and he was not fooled. And he's, saying here, and I quote, he's saying, "We're not that stupid, It is pretty obvious that JTF is behind these fake videos. I think I know why, but it's still a bad idea in my opinion. Smart people who see forgiving nature of these videos towards the movement, as well as JTF's efforts to plug each and every one of them as sticky threads, no less, will think twice about the integrity of this movement, which in the end will leave you only with a handful of well-meaning morons who can't put 2 and 2 together. Is this what we really want? My suggestion is to drop this silly dog and pony show, go back to meaningful and inspiring 10-minute info clips. That's my 2 cents anyway." And of course the reaction from these JTF cult members was like, "Oh, you are crazy, you are insane, you are a conspiracy kook, how dare you, how can you say stuff like this, you out of your mind, and Mr. Vancier here, he's replying, and he gives himself away. I will prove to you now how he gives himself away as liar. Here, and I quote, he says to this guy, "Oh, here we go with the conspiracy cooks. How ridiculous. It is interesting, though, that these videos are so ineffective that someone would actually suggest that JTF would do videos against itself. If we are going to go through the trouble of making videos, we will make videos that promote our movement, not videos that deliberately distort what we are saying. While I believe these videos give us needed publicity, they have not yet helped or hurt our movement. As far as I know, not one person has left the JTF or IMN in response to these videos, but on the flip side, side, despite the extra publicity. As far as I know, not one person has joined JTF or Hayamin as a result of these videos. So the videos so far are having no real effect. What a liar. You know, he's completely lying, and I will prove to you that he is lying. In fact, he actually said before in another thread in October 13, 2008, which was like, 2 months earlier, he said in response to this guy, one of his global moderators, who said that on the YouTube we should headline, "Oh, terrible Chaim Ben Pesach," and then just post the videos, because what was happening at this time, Mr. Vancier's videos were all getting pulled down from YouTube because of the, racism and hate and fanaticism that he was spreading, the bigotry and racism and hate. And all of his videos were getting pulled down. He lost like hundreds of videos on one channel he had. They all were, flagged and were all pulled down. And, he decided, he came up with this idea to create this fake accounts, Peace Now accounts, so he could upload his videos and they wouldn't get flagged down, wouldn't get pulled down. So you will see here Mr. Vancier's reply to this global moderator of his idea, to create account, anti-JTF account, call, Mr. Vancier terrible, and then just post the videos. And you'll see here, Mr. Vancier replies, he says, well, we tried it last December, it didn't work. Chaim fan sent me some accounts he created on the YouTube with pro-Muslim names. I then uploaded our regular JTF videos with pro-Muslim titles, but someone saw what was going on, reported it to YouTube, which promptly removed the videos, closed the accounts. But there are literally dozens upon dozens of anti-JTF videos on YouTube which have given us tremendous attention. We have gotten quite a few new members on the Hebrew forum from the anti-JTF videos. Some of our most active Hebrew forum members came to us because of the anti-JTF videos. There you go. What a liar. He just contradicted what he wrote in the other thread that I show you in December of 2008, where he says, oh, these videos are not having any effect whatsoever. Nobody has joined our movement because of these videos, and yet here he is saying there are literally dozens upon dozens of anti-JTF videos which have given us tremendous attention, and we have gotten quite a few new members on the Hebrew forum from the anti-JTF videos, and there it is, even he's giving an exclamation mark. He's saying here, some of our most active forum members came to us because of the anti-JTF videos. And then underneath here he says, the Peace Now scum that prepared this video just wrote that they intend to produce hundreds of videos against us. That would be great. Yeah, of course it would be great, Mr. Vancier, because that way you can publicize your so-called movement. You can publicize yourself and not have your videos pulled down. That's what you are doing at this time. And this thread was just basically him posting a video that he had uploaded to his fake account. And in response to that guy that I showed you earlier, the Yam Yam One guy, who was replying to him saying that, look, it's obvious that it is you, it is clear that this video is you and not stupid, and what happened was Mr. Vancier decided to post this new video on his fake account to try and make it look like that it's not him. And he's saying here, oh, the Peace Now traitor who has made so many videos against us uses his own voice in his latest smear video. And you look at the date here, December 30, 2008. That is the date of the thread, and that is also the exact same date of the video upload. So he was always, posting, the videos on the same date as his threads, always exactly same date. So clearly it was him who was doing it. It was always like clockwork. He was always posting them as stickies. And He writes underneath here, he says, "This is most vicious video of them all. This traitor puts on American accent when he speaks Hebrew to ridicule my American background, but he clearly is an Israeli. I hesitate to translate the vile things this brief says about me and about Harav Meir Kahan." You know, he's talking about here, "May memory of this saint be immortalized, may God avenge his blood." He pretends that I am speaking, which is why he uses the phony American accent, and he accuses me and Rabbi Kahana and the Kahanas of the most disgusting and sick things that you can imagine. He also says in the video that he is happy that Rabbi Kahana was murdered. You know, I mean, what a joke. He says here, "I do urge our members to respond to this piece of human sewage." You know, human sewage. Yeah, he's talking about himself here because he posted the video. And look at this. Look how ridiculous this video is. It's got his web address for his Hebrew forum site, hayamin.org. That is the main site of his Hebrew forum, his Hebrew, version of the JTF. And the people on the JTF American forum here, they're all going, "Oh, this is amazing, that's him, how bad he is, he's putting these videos against us, now we know who it is, and it's just ridiculous that people didn't realize what he was doing here with this red, in big bright red letters, you've got hayamin.org. And this guy, Yam Yam One, who was actually banned by Mr. Vancier for daring to confront him and to expose him as a fake, he put a thread in reply to this post of Mr. Vancier, the thread that he created here, saying, "Oh, here it is, this guy, you can hear his voice now, so of course it can't be me, it cannot be me, I don't have this kind of voice, I'm not an Israeli, and this guy, Yam Yam One, he's writing here, "This is my response to the latest video that was supposedly done recently by Peace Now." And he says here, "Nice try, Chaim, but here's the original video from the real Peace Now guy." Notice he doesn't enthusiastically plug the Hayamin, website's address on the screen like in your version. I mean, this guy is obviously, very intelligent, he's a smart guy. And, he's saying here, people have to realize that the last thing that Peace Now would do is publish the Hebrew, site's address so much and write Chaim's talking points word for word. If you have a functioning brain and can read Hebrew, you can tell it's Chaim or one of the Hebrew administrators or moderators. It's a shame you choose to lie to your followers. Rabbi Kahana would never approve of this. I know I said I won't talk about this anymore, but this video was meant to debunk my claims and it almost worked. I was about to write a long apology here until I saw the same video in the real AntiChaim account, which is spelled AntiChaimBenPesach in lowercase without the C, as you can see. Right there, there's no letter C, and it is all in lowercase, as opposed to JTF's mock account. And that is AntiChaimBenPesach with a capital letter C. You can see that right there, the capital letter C, uppercase. And then he says, "Well, you want to ban me, you want to ban people for insisting JTF remains true and honest, fine, go ahead. You obviously know that I'm not a left-wing guy from Peace Now, I'm right about this and it is bothering you, that there's Kahana's Jew that is criticizing you, fine, I get it. But you'll never become mass movement by trying to quiet people that criticize you when you're wrong." And this didn't work, this appeal of his didn't work. And this Christian lady here, Ruby Stars, underneath, she's saying here, "Oh, why in the world would Chaim accuse himself of some of the horrible things that Peace Now has lied about?" And it is obvious why. This guy, Yam Yam One, being very smart, he says, "Look, you know as well as I do that Peace Now won't dig up a year-old video, slap the JTF address on it, and re-upload it. It makes no sense. And why in the world would Chaim accuse himself of those things? That's very, very simple. A, to generate a buzz on the forum. Attacks on a group will always cause people to unite. And B, appealing to right-wing yet non-Kahanas viewers to learn more about JTF using a reverse psychology, hoping that people will be tempted to visit the site and then learn more about the rabbi's ideas and prophecies. This is actually something that Chaim has advocated before to promote JTF, writing fake anti-JTF comments and adding a link to JTF's site. That way you don't get banned in the left-wing sites and you achieve the goal of promoting JTF. You know, and all of this stuff that he has written here, you know, trying to criticize them constructively and trying to tell them, look, you know, you are doing this really badly. It's going to damage the movement. It's going to, you know, destroy your credibility as a movement. It all just fell on deaf ears, you know. Mr. Vancier was very angry, as you can imagine. You know, again, this guy Yam1, he's saying here, look, I never questioned Mr. Vancier's intentions, not even the idea itself. I criticize this move because it is poorly executed. You want proof that, you know, you want proof that it is fake. Is this new video not proof enough? My God, what else does it take? You know, he's saying, oh, you know, I'm for you guys, you know, but I think this is a mistake, you know. But no, they wouldn't listen, you know. It didn't matter that that what he was trying to reason with them. You know, you can say that they're telling him to get lost. They're gonna ban him. You know, it didn't work. You know, they were accusing him of being some, you know, left-wing guy, you know, and in the end he got banned. So it just proves to you, you know, that you can have as much evidence as you want with these JTFers because they are so brainwashed. All the evidence in the world doesn't actually help, really. You know, it doesn't matter how much evidence, you know, you can put together to prove that this guy is a fake, he is a fraud, that he lies all the time. It is completely useless, you know, and this guy, of course, is just an example. You can see he only made 24 posts before he was banned. You know, that was the end of it. You know, you cannot confront Mr. Vancier's lies on his forum. If you do, he will attack you personally, just like we saw with that guy Rosenberg, who he doesn't like. You know, obviously he had a major disagreement with him, and he would always be attacking him using his fake accounts, his fake Peace Now accounts. You know, you cannot confront this guy in civilized fashion, you know, reasonable fashion, just like this Yam1 was trying to, and, you know, get a sane response out of this guy. Because even after this appeal, you know, Mr. Vancier continued to produce these ridiculous videos with his fake accounts, his fake Peace Now accounts. It didn't matter, you know, he was not going to be fazed by this. And you can see here in this other thread, machine guns and silencers of Chaim Ben Pesach's second Peace Now smear video. And he keeps repeating here, once again, these videos only help us by bringing us more publicity and attention. You know, always these videos are helping us. We get more attention and publicity, you know, and he would always say, look, you know, rate the videos low, you know, and, you know, put comments and, you know, support JTF and attack Peace Now in the comments section. Of course, he wants as many comments as possible because that would, you know, boost the position of the video in the YouTube search facility. You know, just ridiculous that anybody would fall for this rubbish, this, you know, childish rubbish of his. You know, again, here's another thread he posted. It is entitled, Arabs Are Right in Akko, third Peace Now video attacking us. And, you know, here he's saying here, I still think that this video only helps us by giving us additional publicity. Although if they really do intend to produce hundreds of these videos, the cumulative effect could be to demonize and delegitimize us, which is obviously their evil goal. So we should really write this one lowest possible rating. We should respond with comments. There he goes again, you know, asking them to comment, you know, to boost the position of the video in the search facility. And then here we see the biggest clincher, the punchline, which proved that it is his video. He's saying here, I don't think we should flag the video. I still think the video helps us. Yes, of course it helps you, Mr. Vancier, because it is publicizing your movement. You're the one who is uploading it. So of course you don't want your members to flag it. You don't want your members to flag it so that the video is removed. You know, it is just so idiotic. It is just so pathetic, idiotic that anybody, you know, could fall for such a rubbish. But this is what happens, you know, when people are brainwashed. You know, all common sense and logic is thrown out the window. And one other thing I want to mention, Marbus and JDL Germany already have done a video. You know, we have done video exposing that Mr. Vancier was using a fake identity of a Gentile, you know, non-Jewish guy by name of Jimmy Sullivan, you know, a name which is, you know, like Irish. It is an Irish name, Sullivan. And he was posting as this fake non-Jewish, you know, Gentile guy for like about 15 months on his forum before he changed over to his real name. And this guy is supposedly Gentile, you know, supposedly non-Jewish guy, but he talks like ultra-Orthodox Jew, just like Chaim Ben Pesach, aka Victor Vancier himself. And, you know, here in this thread, he's saying that there's a vicious smear film against Chaim, you know, we should flag this, you know, register with YouTube, attack this monstrous film, you know, get rid of it, you know, we don't want it. Because, of course, this film is a real, you know, guy who is against JTF, and he's exposing him in a very bad way. And yes, you know, he's saying we should get rid of it, he should be banned, we should write to YouTube explaining that the producer of this video, what he's doing, demand that he be banned immediately, you know. And he underneath, he's talking about this other person who is making anti-Chaim videos in Hebrew, and he's saying, you know, do not complain or remove Naitar's films, because although they ridicule Chaim, they give us free exposure. You know, so this guy who is a guy who is actually part of his, you know, forum, he's actually working for him. You know, he's saying, you know, we don't want any JTFers to flag the video. You know, he's writing here, we don't mind critical films, we need the exposure. Maitar's films are anti-Chaim, but they bring new people to our Hebrew website out of curiosity. You know, of course, that's the reason, you know, because all of his own videos, you know, that are fake, he doesn't want them to be flagged. You know, he wants his followers just to comment on them. But the real, you know, videos that are exposing him, he wants them all completely, you know, removed, and the person, he wants them banned from YouTube. So, you know, what a joke, what a hypocrite, and what a joke, you know, that he can get away with this kind of stuff. And this guy, Jimmy Sullivan, he has not been on the forum for like 3.5 years. He's supposedly Gentile who, you know, emigrated to Israel and has never been seen by any JTFer. Never been heard by any JTFer in person. Nobody ever met him in person. And even one lady, one Christian lady, on our you know, previous video, she's told us that the first chief administrator of Mr. Vancier's forum actually confirmed that Jimmy Sullivan, his IP address was exactly the same as Mr. Vancier's IP address. Using his real name, you know, on the American forum instead of Jimmy Sullivan. So both of them had the same IP address. You know, so this sort of stuff, you know, it is a complete like web of lies. You know, the old saying, you know, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive, you know. The more lies, you know, that he does, the more often he's getting, you know, caught in these lies. And here again in this thread, which is actually somebody posted the video that JDL Germany actually produced, and you know, exposing him as being this fake account, Chaim Ben Pesach. You can see his response here. And he posts that ridiculous video. He says, look, anyone who speaks Hebrew would know that Chaim Ben Pesach made at least one video with his own voice where he calls me a pedophile and rapist and claims that I was raped in prison and makes similar accusations against Rabbi Meir Kahane. Any Israeli would know that the voice on this video is that of an Israeli imitating an American. Since I have an American accent when I speak Hebrew, there is no way that I could have made this sick and disgusting video, as if I would ever do something like that, God forbid. And there's the video there, and if we go to this video, if we actually go to it, there it is right there. That's the fake one. That's the fake account right there. And here's the real video. No, it doesn't have the HayaMin.org address, and you can see the upload date there is November the 6th, 2007. That is the original upload date from the real Peace Now guy, the guy whose name doesn't have the capital letter C, it's all in lowercase. Yet Mr. Vancier's fake, account and fake video has the HayaMin.org in big bright red letters right there. You can see it. And the upload date there, December 30, 2008. So it's like, nearly 14 months. 14 months later, he uploads this video. And if you remember that date, he actually uploaded this video and posted it on his American forum on exactly the same day. And it is just incredible that anybody would fall for this rubbish, that they wouldn't realize that it's him, that all he did was just copy somebody else's video, which was already like a year old, as that Yam one guy pointed out, and just, slapped his, web address, his Hebrew web address on there to make it look like, that it is, a video that is a Peace Now, but it is, advertising HayaMin.org, which is ridiculous in itself, I mean, somebody who is like from Peace Now is not wanting to advertise, enemy's website, HayaMin.org. Why would somebody go to trouble of, putting the enemy's website, re-uploading it like 14 months after, he originally uploaded it, and then putting on HayaMin.org, throughout the whole video? Why would somebody do that? It doesn't make any sense, of course. It is just completely ridiculous. And then this guy, because, like I said to you before, 95% of his members are all really stupid, gullible, naive people. They don't realize what a liar he is, what a fraud and a fake and a liar. And it is amazing, how many times he does these kinds of things and he just gets away with it. He constantly gets away with it, because people just are either too lazy or too stupid on his forum to actually do anything about it, to actually, start to question. Instead, it is all, like they put him on the pedestal and they believe everything he says, and, they dare not question him, because they know, of course, that if they dare to question him, they will be, attacked, mercilessly attacked, and trashed, and then even probably banned from, his forum. And that is why nobody dares to say anything about any of this stuff, and if it is ever brought up on the forum, if anybody dares to mention it, everybody else says, oh, you are crazy, that is all being debunked, that is not true, that is all lies, nobody uses their common sense over there, nobody thinks with their brain, and, to put two and two together and realize that this guy is a fake, and he's a liar and a thief and a fraud. What more can we say? The reason JDL Germany is doing this is because he has hurt a lot of people. He has taken a lot of money from people, mainly Christian supporters. He's, taking money from people who are very naive and gullible, and, these people don't really realize what kind of evil, person they are giving their money to. They don't have any clue that he is like, psychotic guy who agree with this Ron Ben Mikhail, psycho, because he even says, that he would like to have a son like him, even though he has many times said that he wants to kill people, he wants to drink their blood, he wants to behead all Christians, he wants to chop their heads off, and like I mentioned to you, he has insulted, Christianity. He has called Jesus bastard, son of whore, prostitute, and a Roman soldier, and he has done this publicly even on the American forum, and he still has not been banned by Mr. Vancier. So of course Mr. Vancier agrees with him, agrees with what he is saying. It is obvious that Mr. Vancier and Mr. Ron Ben Mikhail are two identically, minded people. They think alike. And getting back to what he was saying here, he was talking about this guy Rosenberg, and he was accusing, him of being JDL Germany, and saying stuff like that he was, pretending to be Israeli, and writes in poor English deliberately. But then he says Rosenberg, the Israeli, has to use Google Translator to translate the Hebrew. Well, we at JDL Germany, we are not pretending to be Israeli, okay, Mr. Vancier? I already explained to you why we put Israel as our country on this channel, and why we use the Google Translator is not because nobody at JDL Germany can read and understand Hebrew. The reason why we use Google Translator is obvious. It is to educate the English-speaking world, English-speaking people who are Christians. Most of your financial supporters are Christians, and we are trying to educate them in English to show them what kind of anti-Christian hatred you, Mr. Vancier, are doing against them and behind their backs. And we have already exposed you, and you are now attacking your own member because you think it is him. And the reason why you are doing that is because this is classic red herring decoy that you are doing, because then your members, you will tell them, well, this is just a guy who was jealous of us, he's ex-member, he's crazy, he's insane, don't listen to him. This is a classic ploy. This is a classic strategy and ploy that the radicals use. You destroy the messenger. You say, oh, he is a psycho. He is a rapist and a serial killer, and he is a pedophile, and he is this and he is that. He's insane. He is like a lunatic. He belongs in mental hospital. That way people will dismiss everything that person brings up. And that is what he's trying to do here. He's trying to say that, this is all just an ex-member. This is all just somebody who is like jealous of me, But in reality, Mr. Vancier is the one who is jealous of everybody else, who dares to, show that they are capable of anything, to show that they are intelligent. Mr. Vancier is the one who is jealous because he's projecting, all of this stuff, stuff about, you need psychiatric help, as you can see there. He talks about this guy saying he needs psychiatric help, and he's projecting all this stuff. And I want to show you again how he actually, even on his own channel, he was repeating all that stuff that he was writing on Marbus. There it is right there. He was attacking him there, and here it is again. He says, Joshua, who do you think you are fooling? You are completely insane. You need a good psychiatrist. You see, he was constantly using that phrase, you need good psychiatrist. And in that video that I show you, the Natan Yisrael channel of his in the Hebrew, he gave himself away where he said, intense jealousy, and, you need psychiatric help, and there it is right there. He's again, attacking this guy and saying he needs psychiatrists, he's insane, he needs psychiatrist. And on this other page here, if I have a look here, let me just move here. Here it is, yeah. He is talking about him again, he's talking about he has 10,000 YouTube channels, which he has under 10,000 names. All the videos are against me, and, virtually every one of his comments is directed to this guy. There it is again. He is repeating what he was writing on Marvis's channel. You can see there, it is complete, copy-paste job. He's saying here, this guy is gay, and there it is again. Joshua is also gay. He wants Chaim's cock, but Chaim is too busy fucking Ira right now, so Joshua is intensely jealous. There is that phrase again. He's constantly repeating that, and like I said, we saw that he also was, using that phrase on this other guy who was a supporter of JTF. If you remember, there it is right there. I know you're intensely jealous because your gay boyfriend Chaim Ben Pesach is now fucking Ira instead of you. So he is obsessed with this Ira woman, and it is very clear, very very obvious that it is him, because this is somebody supposedly from Peace Now, and all he ever talks about is this Ira woman, and all he ever does is just attacks this one JTF member of his behind his back. So it is clear that we have proven to any normal sane person that Mr. Vancier has made all these fake accounts and attacked his own members using these fake Peace Now channels. And one other thing I wanted to point out, when I was talking about this guy Jimmy Sullivan, his fake identity, the stuff with Jimmy Sullivan, okay, was basically trying to show that there are Gentiles who are pro-Jewish and support Israel and stuff like this. And that is the reason why he created that account in the first place. He didn't want anybody to know that it was him. He was pretending to be, a Gentile. And of course, doing that was to get as many Gentile members to support him. That's the reason behind this, Jimmy Sullivan deception of his, why he did that. There it is there, Mr. Sullivan. It is clear, what he was doing, trying to show everybody that there is a Gentile who supports Israel and supports Jews. But, this guy, nobody ever met him, nobody ever saw him, nobody, has even spoken to him for 3.5 years, he doesn't even log on to the forum, not even once, for 3.5 years. It is just unbelievable. It's so ridiculous that Mr. Vancier would say that, this guy is still in Israel, and nobody has ever met him. And of course, his IP address was exactly the same as Mr. Vancier's when he was communicating on the forum. Any normal sane person would realize what a fake and what a fraud Mr. Vancier is. And we at JDL Germany wanted to show everybody what a liar this guy is, so that people will stop sending him money, Christian people, and for once in their life, get out of this cult and save their sanity from this evil person. So this basically is a very long video, but it was necessary, unfortunately, because Mr. Vancier likes to, go on offensive. He likes to, get into the game of brinkmanship, and he likes to, get into upping the ante. He wants to attack and go on the offensive. Whenever he is exposed, he wants to attack his enemies and to destroy their credibility and do stuff like this, and slander them, so that nobody will listen to them. Nobody will take them seriously. And it is like any cult leader. He will attack his own people, to keep them in line. Anybody who dares to step out of line, he will basically attack them, to, you know, intimidate them, to cause fear, so that those people will never question anything that he says or anything that he does. Okay, so that is the real Mr. Vancier, and, you know, we want to thank you if you have watched this far, and we apologize for the length of this video, but it was necessary to expose this evil man. So JDL Germany wishes to thank all of you for watching this far. Thank you so much, and peace to you, people.